Commander Versus and Star City Games would like to thank Wizards of the Coast for this free exclusive preview content.
What is up, everyone? Welcome back to Commander Versus Series preview episode. Justin Parnell, John Suarez, Stephen Green, and Jeremy Knoll.
Why do you say like Series 1000?
Yeah. Series 1000?
Just make up a series.
Series 1000?
Well, you didn't have anything to say, it seems like you realized right when you got there. So you should have made something up.
That's not correct, Stephen. I knew going in I didn't have anything.
He was prepared to be unprepared.
I thought this was going to be a Commander versus like secret lair drop. I was excited. Now,
well, we do have secrets, and you could say we're in somewhat of a lair.
Okay.
So
we have secrets from you. We didn't keep the secret from Steven.
That's true. I know the secrets this time.
It's a rare time where Steven knows a secret. So, Commander 2020 previews have been going on for the last few days at this point. We're in the past, so we don't really know. But I'm under the impression that that's the case.
But yeah. Sure, yeah.
So today we have the reveal of the remainder of one of the commander decks. I don't want to say what it is. Well, I do want to say what it is, but it's a difficult word to pronounce. So, but the face card that we previewed recently, which is, Steven, why don't you give it a shot?
Is it this one? No. Okay. I was like, is it this one? I'll never get this.
I'm pretty sure this is the face card, but this is...
Are you talking about Zaxara? The exemplary?
Well, I don't know. Which is it?
Zaxara.
Well, which is the face card?
I would guess.
You want to come second?
Timry.
Okay, hold on. Let me...
You want to get it?
You know what?
Steven reads a lot.
I think it's Otimi. Because there's not
Atrimi.
The ever playful.
The ever playful.
It's a good name.
Atrimi. Yep.
Yeah.
Except for that
there we go.
part.
That's what we got.
Yeah. No, we got it out.
Atrimi, the ever playful.
Yeah.
Now, at this point, we all know what mutate does.
It's true.
Not me.
We're all very familiar with mutate.
Well, now Steven doesn't know. And since Jeremy, you're so well versed in mutate, why don't you tell Steven, as well as any of the audience that may not know?
Let me explain mutate. So mutate is
Hold, reading right off the card.
Reading right off the card. Yeah,
that's what you're supposed to do. Though. You cut him some slack, okay? He's barely bearded Jeremy.
Is a new ability. You pay the mutate cost rather than the regular casting cost of the creature, and when you pay the mutate cost, you put it over or under target non-human creature you own. So it has to have a target, a non-human creature already on the battlefield, and you pay the mutate cost, target that creature, and then when you put it over or under, it becomes the top creature of the pile, but has all the abilities of all of the creatures under it. So,
you following?
If we have Otrimi, the ever playful here, which we have up on the screen, which is 3 black, blue, green normally for a 6/6 trampler, and says whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, return target creature card with mutate from your graveyard to your hand. Seems pretty good. The mutate cost is 1 black, green, blue, so you get a little bit of a discount there. If you cast this spell for its mutate cost, put it over or under target non-human creature you own, then mutate it into the creature on top, plus all abilities from under it. So if you were to take this creature and say you had Llanowar Elf on the battlefield already, you could mutate this, put it on top, and then you'd have an Otrimi the Ever Playful 6/6 Trampler that taps for green mana.
Now, what happens if Steven casts Lightning Bolt
on my Llanowar Elf?
On your Llanowar Elf.
Yeah.
What happens is the mutate creature will still enter the battlefield as its own creature, but you will not get any of the mutate abilities triggered.
I have a different question.
Yep.
What happens if John casts Scar?
On Llanowar Elves?
Yeah,
that's good. That's a good question.
The
Llanowar Elves dies, the Otrimi still comes into play.
And Jeremy does not get a point.
And then Jeremy does not get a point.
I don't get a point.
Great. Okay. So it operates similar to Bestow.
Yeah.
Except there is a difference.
Yes.
One, they're not enchantments.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The lamest card type in Magic. We can all agree.
Don't know about that, but
and 2, there are some mutate cards where their mutate cost is less than their mana cost, as shown by Otrimi, the Ever Playful. Where with Bestow, it was not the case.
Yeah, it's usually more.
Sometimes it was the same,
But
it was
you were
usually
paying
more.
the same cost or more
more.
to get the benefit of essentially if they kill your target, you still get a creature.
Yeah.
And it looks like with Mutate, they've changed it up, and we're getting the benefit of. There are probably some more instances, but
There's definitely
most of
more.
these
We'll get to
seem
them.
like you're paying about a mana to 2 mana less to mutate them. So you could, target it and then sag it to your Ashnod's Altar.
Wow.
And then you got a 4 mana.
Which would be legal in
6/6.
Commander because you have black in your deck, so you can play that
You
card.
can play Ashnod's Altar in your deck with black in it. Yep.
That's true. So it's almost like in the Landwar Elf example that you're actually giving Landwar Elf +6/+6. You're basically just giving it all of these abilities.
Yep. +5/+5 in Trample.
Except it changes its name.
Yes.
And
And
it's not
creature
Landwar
type.
Elf
Now,
anymore.
unlike
Yep.
Bestow,
But it has haste because it was already on the battlefield, or was it not on the battlefield?
If the Llanowar Elf was already on the battlefield, I believe that
Yeah.
it still works.
unlike
'Cause it's still
Bestow,
muted.
though, if I put it on there and then I kill it, they both go away.
Yes.
Whereas before,
If it's already
your
mutated
Bestowed
on there.
would come out. This way, they're just gone.
Yeah, if it's already
Yeah.
mutated on there. And there are some things on here that's like, we'll get to them that say when this creature mutates, and you've probably already seen a couple previewed this last weekend, when this creature mutates. So if that ability, like if it already comes in and you got that trigger on the stack, you can kill the whole stack of cards.
The whole stack.
So it's
The
like a
whole-
cross between like Bestow and Augment.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
The whole mess
Of course it is. Have you seen the cards? Definitely
I have.
a cross between Augment.
All right, so Atrimi the Ever Playful is one of our face cards. One of the other ones, as you were saying, is Zaxara the Exemplary, which was our preview card, which... as soon as I saw this card, I was like, well, this is immediately replacing Tassiger.
It's disrespectful to Tasker.
It is disrespectful to
It does
Tassiger.
say
I
add
don't...
2 mana of any one color. It's pretty good.
It's pretty good.
Yeah.
1 black, green, blue, legendary Nightmare Hydra, 2/3, Death Touch, tap to add 2 mana of any one color, and whenever you cast a spell with X in its mana cost, create a 0/0 green Hydra creature token, then put X +1/+1 counters on it. Amazing in my Villainous Wealth deck. Also, in addition to that, it's another one of the things that we can talk about with this new mechanic, which is you can make these Hydras or any these tokens, and you can still bestow upon them as long as they're non-humans. So if you have this Hydra and you cast an X spell that's 10, you just
You mean
make a
mutate upon them?
yes, mutate upon them. So you cast a spell with Zaxara out. You make a 10/10 Hydra with your X spell that costs 10.
Because it was X was equal 10.
Yep.
Of course it was.
Then you have a 10/10 Hydra, and then you mutate targeting the Hydra, and it becomes a 10/10 Hydra with those abilities.
With,
pretty good.
With basically +10/+10.
Mhm.
Because it's +1/+1 counters.
Yeah.
That's cute.
It is. It's cute.
That's cute. It's also had Death Touch.
It
does.
also has Death
To
Touch.
prevent you to prevent people from getting too frisky.
Yeah, it's a good card.
Yeah, it's a
The
pretty
rates
powerful
are all
card.
good there.
It's
Yeah.
a pretty powerful card. And as we'll get to, it also seems to be have the creature type of what is a theme of this deck, Jeremy.
Hydras.
Nightmares.
One of the two. Yeah, sure.
It's definitely nightmares.
Yeah.
The
Hydras.
first 2 cards are Nightmares, so I'm going to go with Nightmares.
Let me guide you to our last page here before we get to it.
Sure, we'll be talking about all the nightmares before we get there.
Yeah.
Great. So we have 2 gigantic, well, one gigantic and then one scary in different ways.
Very.
Commanders, but there are 4 legendary creatures in every deck.
Mhm.
Okay. However, we now see the return of partner.
Partner with.
Now, yeah, I was gonna say now, not exactly partner in the original way that was introduced in Commander a different year, but the one that was introduced in Battle Bond. I don't remember which
20XX.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the right answer.
that's the right answer. But the one that was introduced in Battle Bond where it's partner with. So we want to introduce Kazur, Ruthless Stalker, and BFF Yukima, Stalking Shadow.
Yeah, I do like that.
That was a very Kamigawa name. I'm surprised you were.
It's not, though. It's a very Ikorian name,
Yeah.
No.
just to be clear.
Yeah.
So now they partner with each other, which is, there is one benefit to partner with rather than just general partner. So if you have these in your deck and you play one of them, you get to tutor for the other one.
Yeah, that's nice.
Because they're best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, I'm a big fan of one of these cards personally.
I'm
Is
more
it
of a fan of that
the
one.
whale wolf?
It is
It is the Whale Wolf. Okay, so
We'll go with the werewolf first. Just
let's
get
start.
under-
Let's start with the werewolf
not
first.
werewolf.
Werewolf.
Whale-wolf. Okay.
Although,
Sure.
if I bet if we got one of our friends to pronounce werewolf and whalewolf, they'd be the same. Anyway, so Ukima is a 2/2 for 1 blue black. It says cannot be blocked.
No
And of course, has partner with Kazor. And then whenever it leaves the battlefield, it deals X damage to target player, and you gain X life or X its power.
Leaves.
Leaves the battlefield.
It's good.
Like it goes to the command zone because it's your commander. Now it's only a 2/2, can't be blocked. 1, excellent for killing people with commander damage, which I'm a huge fan of.
Mm-hmm.
But 2 goes very well with its BFF, Kazur, because Kazur is just a 3/3 for 4. Simple country human warrior 3/3 for
Yeah,
4. But it
still
has this ability because it will never be mutating.
Never.
Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, put a +1/+1 counter on that creature. Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
It's solid.
Not great, but not bad.
But that's why. Let's go back to Ukima because, as we remember, unlike Kazur, who's a simple country human, Ukima is a whale wolf. Neither of which
Or simple.
are simple or humans
Or country.
or country. So if you happen to have these other mutate creatures like Otrimi, you could put it on, mutate Otrimi on Ukima to make it a 6/6 can't be blocked. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, return target creature card with mutate from your graveyard to your hand. Whenever it leaves the battlefield, deal X, gain X creature.
That's a lot.
Yep.
I have a question.
Did you catch all that?
That's a lot.
I assume so. Can I mutate from the command zone?
I have to imagine.
You'd imagine that.
I would have to imagine.
I feel like for the fact that we have a legendary creature with mutate
Almost assuredly.
means almost assuredly I would just have to imagine you have to pay the commander tax when you cast it because you're still casting it.
Yeah.
Yep.
So the first time if you cast it with mutate costs 4, next time it costs 6,
Yep. Makes sense.
etc., and so on. So those are the legendary creatures that are
That's a deep
helming
question.
this deck.
No one's thought about that at all.
Nobody.
If mutate has a commander tax on it.
Of course it does.
No one's thought about
It does
that.
say if you cast the spell
says it
for
right
its
there, if you cast.
mutate cost.
Yeah, so you're casting it.
Oh, no.
So let me just run through this one more time. It's a lot of words. A lot
Yeah,
of
go
things.
ahead. It's
so
a lot to
I have Ukimi.
take in.
I mutate Otrimi, which kind of rhymes with that. I have a can't be blocked 2/2 with trample and this ability.
Or, depending on where you put this, you have a 6/6 with these abilities on it.
I like that more.
Yep, 6/6 because it becomes whatever card's on top. So it would
You
be
get to
still be
choose.
the Otrimi, the ever playful. However, this was the other thing that is mentioned about mutate. If there's a card that says when this leaves the battlefield and refers to itself, it just means that card. So the Ukima is, even though it says when Ukima leaves the battlefield, it means this creature.
Pile.
So yeah, the pile. So even if it is Otrimi the Ever Playful on top, and it's a 6/6 trample, when it leaves the battlefield, you still get that, even though it says specifically referring to.
So
It's good.
if
Ukima.
I have Ukima out and I mutate Otrimi on it and put Otrimi on top to make it a 6/6, and then I attack Steven,
Correct.
will it be commander damage?
Yes, and if you have Kazur out too, it also gets a +1/+1 counter.
I like it.
Excellent.
If you're saying this is your commander, then
No, if Ukima is my commander,
And it's on bottom.
well,
left.
then you
can't
can't
have
have,
that in your
that in your deck.
sure I can because these are my.
If these are your command,
Yeah,
but
these are your commanders.
if
Yeah, you can't really
obviously
play this as your commander and then have this in your deck. It would have to be your commander.
it's not as
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's say these are my commanders
Yep.
because I'm not dumb.
You didn't just use one of them. You used
these
them
are
both.
your commanders. You have Okima on the battlefield. You Otrimi
Mutate it
putting it on top.
over top of it.
Then I don't believe so. That's going to be a question that the rules committee will probably answer. But because it is an Otrimi that has these abilities,
Hate it.
then it is not
I'm
commander damage.
I'm
I
out.
don't believe. That would be my guess. We'll wait until.
Now look, I've killed people with plenty of creatures that start as 2/2s. Okay,
I believe you. I'm still.
Yanni always starts as a 2/2.
Yeah, I'm
never
so-
ends up there. It always starts as a 2/2.
I'm still waiting for that natural Tashar kill. Like I didn't combo off to you. to you.
So mutate is clearly, obviously, a large part of this, as are one of the creature types that's on Zaxara, which remains to be seen which one it is a theme of this deck. But there's obviously also plenty of other mutate cards in the deck that we're also revealing.
Mm-hmm.
I like the name on this one.
Well,
Why don't you go?
I like the art on that one. I love the art.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about it?
Souvenir Snatcher.
All right.
Is a 5-mana 4/4. And the mutate is actually more on this one. It's 6. It's a blue and 5. And
There's reason for that, though.
Yeah, it says flying whenever this creature mutates, gain control of target non-creature artifact.
That's pretty powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, I feel like this should just be a permanent based on the mana cost it costs.
But it's not until end of turn you just get it forever.
Yeah,
that's fine.
It just snatches it.
It's 6
snatches
mana. At 6 mana,
He snatched it.
you can take any permanent.
But I also get a 4/4 flyer.
Unless you put it underneath your 2/2.
And you get it forever,
But why would I put it on top?
even if your mutated creature dies.
I don't know. You
Yeah,
probably
you
It's
just
not-
always get it.
Yeah, you just get to keep it.
It's yours.
Souvenir Stature seems pretty good.
I agree.
The more cheap mutate things you have in your deck alongside Souvenir Stature, I imagine will be good. And also keep in mind, you can just play this for 5 as a 4/4 flyer, and then the next turn you can mutate it.
Yeah.
Maybe twice.
Yeah.
Snatch.
It's just I like it. I don't necessarily like the limitations of only getting non-creature artifacts. At least let me get like a planeswalker, an
That is
artifact
awfully.
enchantment.
That's awfully greedy.
It is a little greedy.
Souvenir Stature's perfectly happy with just art.
What is the weight capacity of a unladen souvenir?
I'm just pointing out for 6 mana, I could take this.
He's got little spikes on
I
him
could
too.
keep listing
That
things.
costs 7.
Or she. Little
Take
spiky.
possession costs out.
Yeah.
Bribery.
It's pretty sweet. So the next
5.
one,
Didn't even have to be in play.
the next one is one of the creature types that you were excited about.
Yeah, it's the second best creature type in Magic.
Why don't you go tell us
Which is-
about
which is Nightmare.
Why don't you tell us about Mind Leecher?
So Mind Leecher is a card that's lovely. Okay. It's a nightmare creature, which of course has flying, as it has very scary demon wings. And it's just a 6/6 for 5 flyer. However,
You
Reverse
this.
it.
a 5/5 for 6 flyer, I got ahead of myself, but it has mutate for 5. And it says whenever this creature mutates, exile the top card of each opponent's library.
Face
you can-
down.
Yeah, face down. So only you can look at them. Gonti style.
Gonti style.
Gonti style. You may look at these cards and play those cards for as long as they remain exiled. Now,
Independent mana cost, right?
unlike Gonti, you still have to cast them.
Yeah. For their actual cost.
Yes.
Yeah.
But you can play them. So if you get lands,
Yeah,
which
you
is
get 'em.
which is an important distinction.
Yeah.
Very important distinction. Getting lands is very underrated for free.
Yes, lands. Yeah, because it does say play and not cast.
So we're going back to Nightveil Spectre.
Yep.
Where you had to get the lands and then cast the cards.
Yep.
I like it.
Yeah. So I'm a big fan of this one. Just the fact that as soon as you mutate, you're just drawing 3.
Yep.
Whether you can do something with them or not, the
Drawing
fear
3 and
the fear is in the unknown for your
maybe grabbing
opponents.
some artifacts,
Non-creature artifacts.
non-creature artifacts.
Only one person may have all the soul rings.
That'd be good.
We got another card here, which I think that you would also be a fan of because it mentions your favorite zone in Magic.
Oh, the graveyard, yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So I am a big fan. So Boneyard Mycodrax.
What a fungus.
Great. Its power toughness is equal to the number of other creature cards in your graveyard. It's
I
like
like that
why
a
would it
little
say
weird,
other?
but yes.
Why would it say other? Of course. So other creature cards in your graveyard. So I've been known to have creatures in my graveyard from time to time.
On occasion.
On occasion. So this is probably going to be a pretty sizable creature just in most parts of the game, most phases of the game. However, the magic really happens when it finds its own way into the graveyard after it's died in combat,
Being sacrificed. Whatever.
Discarded,
what
who
have
knows?
you. And it has Scavenge, Scavenge is from Return to Ravnica block, where you could pay the Scavenge cost, exile it, and you put +1/+1 counters on target creature equal to the power of the creature you scavenged, which is why it says it's equal other creatures in your graveyard. So when you finally
if it's the
kill
only
this,
thing, it's 0.
that's right.
Correct.
And it would
Thank you.
also
I think it should.
That would also go to the graveyard.
it would go to the graveyard immediately because that would not be
I think
good.
it should count it. So.
It would get confusing with Scavenge. That's why it has other.
Yeah.
Well, it
Yep.
wouldn't get confused in scavenge. You just wouldn't get the counter for it. It's exiled. It's gone.
Well,
Is it?
That's
Is
what
it when I
says.
pay the cost though?
Well, it's
5 mana, exile this card
Yeah,
from your
because
graveyard.
the reason is, you're right. Functionally, Stephen, it does work the same, but it would confuse people, and it might trick people that are not as familiar with how graveyard shenanigans work. Be like, oh, this is 1. I can give this a +1/+1 counter. It's like, oh, the ability resolved. It's 0.
Yeah.
Got you.
Few people remember that Golgari Grave Troll counts itself. Like that's a weird thing.
Yeah. So I think it's fine that we avoid that. Just add the extra text, even though it is pretty much non-functional text, but just so people don't fool themselves. We don't want people to play themselves. Okay. When they're working with the graveyard.
The next one, I think,
hate it.
John really liked.
Hate this card.
So that might be. I haven't seen every deck, but this might be the most powerful thing they printed.
I love this card. So Deadly Rollick, 4 mana, instant. If you control a commander.
We know that. The first time I saw it, I was like, I don't even need my commander.
You don't.
Just
as long as you have someone else's. You may cast the spell without paying its mana cost, and it exiles target creature. Free.
Hate it.
4 mana to 0.
0 mana.
Just think of all the things you could abuse that. Recoup it. 0.
Free is great.
Yeah.
Free is always great.
Free is the best.
Free.
Why you gotta exile it?
Free.
Exile.
Just put
exile
it into the graveyard.
That's right. No.
Gone.
Out of here.
Out of the game.
Out of here. Problematic.
You know what?
You can get it back with one of those.
Black probably needs more exile effects, though.
I love this card.
Yeah, this card's
That's probably not an effect that you see often in black is exile.
Yeah.
Not for free, it's not, Stephen.
Well, definitely not. You don't
I can flip this to Yuriko for 4 damage and then cast it and exile your card.
That's
can you read our flavor text here?
Total nonsense.
This is great flavor text.
I knew you would love it.
Flavor text we've hit.
Trimi was disappointed at how quickly its new friend got tired and stopped playing.
That's good because Trimi is the ever playful.
Yeah, that's good.
And it had a Deadly Rollick.
Deadly Rollick.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to that card.
That's terrifying.
Yeah, that's.
Look, I'll play it. Okay, I'm not going to say
what it is. I didn't identify these.
I'll play it. I'll play it a lot, but I just wish it.
You mean in all?
I wish you would not cast it on my creature.
You'll play it in all the commander decks.
What if we all made a pact now?
That we're going to target your creatures?
We'll make a pact to exile your creatures.
Don't. Just put them in the graveyard.
No, we'll put them somewhere.
Indestructible?
Yes, it is. This is the problem. This is the problem.
That's great.
Is like I don't feel the need in my Yeheni deck to have Lightning Greaves or Swiftfoot Boots. I don't care if you target it. What are you going to do?
Exile. That's what I'm gonna do.
Do not exile it.
Path.
Mm-hmm.
Swords.
But see, the difference is there's a downside to Path and Swords. You know what they are?
White.
You have to play white.
That's true.
This is black.
Yeah.
You're already playing black.
And if I don't control my commander, now I have to pay for.
On a white deck. It went swimmingly.
The next one, why don't you go over this one, Steve?
I like this card.
I know you like it.
Yeah, I like the flavor text specifically on this card because that's what scares me about open water, and there it is right there.
Yep.
The Tidal Barracuda. It's a 4 mana 3/4, and it says any player may cast spells as though they had flash. Wait a minute. Halt.
Okay.
Your opponents can't cast spells during your turn. So they have, I'll call it somewhat flash.
Yeah.
If it's not my turn, they don't have flash. I mean, they have flash.
Yeah.
But if it's my turn.
So it's everybody gets a ley line.
Yeah.
But you also have
a Grand Arbiter.
Grand Arbiter.
On my turn. Yeah. That's great.
Grand Abolisher.
Grand Abolisher.
And its flavor text is it lurks in the spaces between moments. And that's just like the
terrifying.
corner. No, it's the corner of your vision, like you're in the ocean and you see something.
Like, what was that?
That's the Tidal Barracuda right there. I don't like that. It creeps me out.
I think this is a sweet card. I think it's a very interesting, like, just in a multiplayer.
I have one problem with the card.
Mm-hmm.
What's it missing?
Flash.
It doesn't have flash. What in the actual hell? It doesn't have flash.
I mean, it's in the water.
What does that have to do with anything?
John, this card should have flash on it since it gives everything flash. That doesn't. It doesn't compute.
I agree with you.
I like this card.
I like the card. I just think it should have flash.
I think it'll find its way into.
I'll just have to play Leyline so I can give this flash to give all of your stuff flash.
But what if you draw Leyline and you don't have it in your opening hand? That doesn't have flash.
I'll flash it in later.
Doesn't have flash. Leyline should also have flash.
I like it. It's probably going to take place of an Ori or something in my.
Well, it'd be way cheaper.
Our next card is one that I think. I know I had a little bit of contention with Justin on this one. I as much as I played around the time of Odyssey was when I started, and I thought Browbeat was a really good card. And then a lot of people told me, no, Browbeat is actually not a very good card. Anytime you can give your opponent the choice,
this is a great card.
It's like, eh. And
I've always liked Browbeat. It was a great card.
I like Browbeat still.
I want to talk about this one.
Okay.
Y'all can we have 4. We have more. Y'all can figure out the other ones. I want to take this one. So, Dredge the Mire. Sorcery for 3 and a black. Easily splashable. In the event you don't have a bunch of black mana, you will. Unnecessary. That's fine.
Somebody will play
it. Card been called Drain the Swamp.
Dredge the Mire.
It's the same thing.
Each opponent
synonyms.
Chooses a creature card in their graveyard. So each of you will each choose a creature card in your graveyard. Any that you could possibly choose.
I remember how this went last time we played a game where you were looking for things like that.
Yeah, they were all terrible.
Well, that's what you're going to get.
Put those cards onto the battlefield under your control. So you are for 4 mana. You're getting 3 creatures.
Maybe.
You're going to get 3 creatures.
I'm just saying.
You know why? I'm not exiling your creatures. I'm putting them into your graveyard because I need them for future use.
But what if you do exile control the good ones staying in there?
How easy is it?
Yeah, like a Weathered Wretch. Just like
how easy is it to control the creatures in your opponent's graveyard? So easy. They just printed another thing in black. And, first of all, I'm just talking about just in black. You have Withered Wretch Classic. You have Timuret.
Yep.
Which is very good. It's like a combo between Withered Wretch and Scavenging Ooze. You have Coffin Purge.
Are we just going straight just black?
Yeah,
I'm talking. Then when you get into like green, which of course you could have in this deck,
into blue and black because this card seems the best with a mill deck.
Scavenging Ooze, it's not. I don't know why you would need to do that because you want. I want to surgically determine what I will be.
You mill all the
back.
cards, and then you use the Withered Wretch to take away the bad ones.
Alternatively, what if I just let you play your good cards and then kill them, or strip them out of your hand with discard?
I'm just trying to show you the light.
No, you're not. You're showing me the darkness. For 4 mana, the fact that you get 3 creatures back of any size, you could get like 18 mana worth of creatures back if you play your cards right.
Not in my game.
This card is awesome.
Good card.
It's exceptional. Flavor text. Fortunately, the reanimation spell just missed the long dead colony of dung scorpions. You know why?
All you're gonna get
because Withered Wretch was around. Make sure you didn't get those dung scorpions
all
back.
All you're getting is dung.
The last game that we played, y'all had dung scorpions. Okay. I'm gonna make sure there's no dung scorpions. We're just gonna get the nightmare beasts.
That'd be good. Yeah.
Our next one is one that I think is. It's kind of expected as far as like mutate things go. So it's Sawtusk Demolisher. It's a 6/6 trampler for 6 mana, but it has a mutate cost of 3 and a green, and says whenever this creature mutates, destroy target non-creature permanent. Its controller creates a 3/3 green beast creature token.
I don't get it.
That's trample too.
I don't get it again.
You don't get it again?
No, because nothing about this card says it leaves a little baby behind other than the mutate.
What about the little baby on the card?
I know, but no part of this card other than the mutate. It's just like
it's right there.
It's right there.
Doesn't make any sense. Why does it leave a baby?
Because the baby's right there and it mutates to something else.
So it saws the permanent down. It saws the permanent down, and then the baby eats it.
Yes,
it's sawing the tree down.
A tree, though.
Yeah,
what
it's sawing the tree down.
Destroy a Belkin Orrery. The baby doesn't need to eat that.
The Belkin Orrery could just be a tree.
First of all, look at those tusks.
The baby doesn't have any tusks. Okay.
The baby doesn't know. That's why it doesn't have trample.
That's why it doesn't have trample. Thank you, John.
Okay.
Yeah. So there was a kind of an expectation of like, okay, there's probably going to be some sort of rare where it's like destroy target something.
Yeah.
Especially in green, making a 3/3.
Yeah,
really good.
This is also
next
notable.
Card's all Jeremy.
No, hold on. No. This is. I think the next card's all you, Steven. Notable. This is another one that the difference between the mutate cost and the convert mana cost is two different.
Two less.
And a green less.
And a green less, which is actually
that's actually a big
trampler
difference.
for 4.
Yeah.
And destroying a land.
Yeah, that's pretty good. You could. I feel like you could figure. And if you mutate beyond that.
Yeah.
It
just gets more and more absurd and obnoxious. All right, so the next one is Capricopian. Which is a goat hydra. We all had to read this at least once.
It's a goat card. I'm gonna lie. I like all goat cards.
It's a goat hydra. So it's a goat hydra for green and X, and it says Capricopian enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Makes sense. It's a hydra.
Mm-hmm.
And it says pay 2. Put a +1/+1 counter on this. Then you may reselect which player Capricopian is attacking. Only the player Capricopian is attacking may activate this ability, and only during the declare attacker step. This card is super sweet. So
for C,
if I had this creature on the battlefield and say it was a 3/3, and I say, okay, I'm going to attack Steven. And Steven
I'm
says,
pretty sure you're attacking Justin.
why are you doing that? Why would you do that to me? And I say, well, Steven, you have 2 mana available. You can change that. Steven can pay that 2 mana, put another +1/+1 counter on it. It's a 4/4 now, and say that it's attacking Justin. However,
Hold on now. I got
because
2
it's
mana.
attacking Justin, he has 2 mana up, and he says, nah, I want that to go right back at Steven. Puts another counter on it. Now there's a 5/5 attacking
And then I
Steven.
kick Justin under the table.
And then John laughs.
I've got plenty of mana. So I'll be
He'll be able to do
Now,
whatever
what
he
we
wants.
could do is say, hey, now what if I was more clever than Steven? Just hear me out. And Steven redirected it at me, and I was like, hey, John, wouldn't it be nice, because you're getting ready to untap all this mana, if you use all that mana, and I just put 2 in and redirected it at you, and you're like, oh, man, you can just maintain priority and activate that ability 5 times and then send it at Steven, and then it's a 10/10.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like where this is going.
It's going at you.
It's going at you.
Don't send the greatest of all time.
You could have just had a 3/3 coming at you.
You could have had a 3/3, but your greed made you take 7 more points of damage.
I won't be able to be attacked. I'm not
The
worried
best
about
part is you can't make an attack controller.
You sure
Yeah.
can't.
You have to worry about attacking yourself.
Yeah.
The thing that I think that is missing from Commander is political cards that are green. There's just very few political cards because they're just like, big
Stumpy.
big something.
it. Wait, why can't you make an attack?
Because it says it on
card.
there.
It says it on there. You can't attack
It's
it.
right there on the
Oh,
text
it's in
of
the
the card.
parentheses.
Yeah.
I was like, why can't I?
Yeah.
And it's just a hilarious
Well, you
art.
can't attack yourself, so that
Goat
makes
Hydra,
sense.
yeah.
Goat Hydra is just,
So, but this is a great green political card.
yes.
Mhm.
It makes total sense within the context of green, and this is a fun little mini game. You
Yeah.
get to play every turn.
Yeah.
I actually like that the thing that I think I sneakily like is that it doesn't have trample.
Yes.
Because the fact if it had trample, it's gonna start wrecking havoc. But without trample, you get to do it you get to play this little mini game every turn of who gets to be abyssed.
Lord.
Trumi goes right under that.
Yeah, then it has trample.
Then
And then it has trample and the fun's over.
I'm
Yep.
reading the next
Now,
card in my head.
The person that I feel like is gonna do the most with the next card is John.
Manascape Fracture?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you tell us about this
So,
one?
3 mana artifact comes into play tapped.
My mind is going with this card.
Now, this card doesn't tap for mana. It looks like it does, for the most part. It doesn't tap for mana. It has all activated abilities of all lands on the battlefield.
And now it taps for mana.
Now it taps for mana.
Got it.
You may spend mana as though were any mana of any color to pay the cost of an activation.
Okay. So what can you do?
What
with
can't you do?
What can't you do?
All lands on the
All,
board.
All lands.
or Baghdad.
I take them all.
Yeah.
All the lands.
So
It
if
could also be
you-
a wasteland.
If I have my Urborg coffers out, you now have a Cabal coffers.
Yeah, it's great.
It also has an infinite combo if you have infinite mana.
Sure.
It can untap itself.
How
Wait,
can
it's not a land though, right?
It's not a land.
It's an artifact for 3.
Yeah, because there's a land that
Well-
untaps a land, so you can spend.
Well, there's also a million artifacts on tap artifacts.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's going to be very easy.
Very, very easy. There's so many things. Academy runes. There's just so many sweet things you could do with this.
I'm going to go out on a limb, and this is going to sound crazy. This is the best 3 mana rock ever printed.
So it's activated abilities, not mana abilities. So I don't think it just taps for mana. Those are mana abilities. It gains the activations.
Mhm.
So it gains the Dust Bowl activation. It gains the Academy runes activation. It doesn't get the Gaia's Cradle.
I take it
Yeah.
back.
So just
Not-
want to slow you down. a little bit.
not quite as good as you think.
Okay.
But
Wait,
It does not tap for mana
but
on its
it
own.
does if it is filter land.
That's still
that's
a
still a
mana
mana ability.
ability.
Still a mana ability. So
Well,
let's
so
say
is Cabal Coffers. That's a mana ability too.
You have to pay an
Jeremy
activation.
just used that-
Jeremy did
Jeremy
use
just
that as
used
an
that
example. That
example.
doesn't do it.
He tricked.
doesn't. No, yeah, you're right. It is a mana ability.
What about
Led me down this path.
What about like the castles? Castle Ardenvale, I'd be able to do
Yeah,
that.
you can make a 1/1.
Yeah.
Castle
make one once.
Garenbrig would not, because that's a mana ability.
That's a mana ability.
So just activated abilities. You still get
Still
to
really
steal
good, though.
stuff,
Still get
but it's
really
not
good,
the
though.
best mana
See,
rock.
I felt okay. I'll
Do the
just say
vivid
that.
lands count as mana abilities?
Those are mana
Anytime you make
abilities.
mana,
anytime you
it's a
make
mana
mana, it's a
ability.
mana ability.
Just making
I
sure
think
there's
So it
not
can steal
some,
utility.
not some.
Do you have Ghost Quarter? I could sacrifice my artifact if I wanted to.
Yeah, if you really
Ghost
wanted to.
Quarter.
Yeah,
Strip
so we
mine.
have
Some of the other
Core
things
Haven.
are.
Core Haven's a good one.
You have your own Core Haven.
Maze of Death.
Core Haven.
Which one is
Maze of
Aboro?
Death.
Bounce a land?
Boro. Yeah, sure. If I need to bounce it to save it.
Alchemist's Refuge was another.
good one.
That was one that I actually,
Alchemist's Refuge is a
which
good
I
one.
thought about immediately. Was like, oh, okay, so you can tap this, tap two,
Yeah.
and then you can just have flash.
Yeah. It's good. It's good.
That's
It is not the
pretty
best
good.
mana rock. It is
Well,
a
it doesn't
utility
make
card.
mana.
Does not make mana.
Disappointing.
Is it very interesting, and I'm sure people will come up with some really cool interactions
Yeah.
for this card.
I was
out
just thinking
on
about stuff like Bazaar. I was like, man,
Yeah. If an ability somehow adds mana in the end.
Maze,
Yeah,
Maze
Maze.
of it.
I'm sure there's an ability that does that, right? No, not one.
It depends.
Yeah.
well, that's why I said about filter
So
lands,
here's
'cause there's some
here's
things
the
that do that.
difference. For
Filters,
example,
yeah.
like adding a filter land, that's a mana ability.
Yep.
Deathrite Shaman's ability, where you target something and then
Correct,
you
and
make
then-
mana after that. It makes mana, but it's not actually a
Mana
mana ability.
ability,
That's
correct.
an activated ability.
Yeah.
Okay.
So and maybe if you made Deathrite Shaman into a land,
Well, we
You still have
obviously
its
don't
ability,
know
then you can do
all
that.
the abilities.
Hey,
too. There's
but I
a
have all
lot
of
of
them.
lands out there.
there's a
so.
lot of lands.
Then I have all those abilities.
Then you have all the abilities.
You
That's
could
true.
you could have
sounds
somebody
dangerous.
else's Keswick Wolf run.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
It's just it's one of those cards that kind of just will sneak.
It's going to be sneaky. Yeah.
It's going to be there. It's going to do nothing. You're going to wonder what's going on, and then all of a sudden,
Yeah.
it's going to do something silly.
Yeah. So, all right. So those are all of the cards that have the Commander 2020 set symbol. Okay. So those are the cards that are exclusive to this Commander deck, this individual one. Okay. Now we have other cards that are in Ikoria that are in this Commander deck that have not ever been previewed before. So we are going to be showing you those as well. So a lot of these, by a lot I mean all of them, are mutate cards.
Yep.
Obviously one of the big mechanics in the set. Now interestingly, on two of these cards, there's something that is a returning mechanic also, which is hybrid.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, Trumpeting Gnar.
I like this card.
So 3/3 for 3. Pretty good rate.
Good rate.
When it says, when this creature mutates, make a 3/3 beast.
I like it.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good. And its mutate cost is 3 green-blue hybrid, green-blue hybrid.
Like it.
I don't. It's like so not worth it
Why not?
because I paid 5 mana for a 3/3.
Maybe you didn't.
Maybe
Maybe you mutated something else onto
yeah.
it.
What if you mutated something else onto it?
And you
Yeah,
paid 3
you
for a
play
3/3.
this as your
I
3.
still potentially made 5
you-
mana
you-
for a 3/3, which
you-
depends on what I
You
did.
play this for 3,
That'll put the
and then you
Solid Tusk
mutate
Demolisher.
this on it.
Yeah,
now
well,
you
that's 7 mana for a 3/3.
No, it's
no.
7 mana for a 6/6 with trample, and you destroy.
target non-creature permanent,
and then you
get
make
7
2
mana for a
3/3s.
6/6.
That's
ain't
pretty.
bad.
That's
I
pretty
want to
good.
destroy your own because it's controller, right? You'd have to destroy your own thing to get 2 3/3s.
Sure.
But you could.
But you're gonna okay, fine. Let's say you destroy Jeremy's, then you get your own to block.
I think I just don't like the mutate cost of this. I don't mind the 3/3 that you mutate onto because that's clearly
sure.
Well, the benefit of this is when you draw it on turn 10, you don't want to play a 3/3 for 3.
Yeah, you get an extra bonus.
So
to
mutate
it.
it onto your other giant mutate.
Yeah.
And now you just got
Now you have
you're
another
just building
3/3,
up.
and
the
then
Ultron style.
if you mutate your next one, you have
I'm
another.
putting all my
3/3.
eggs in one basket.
And
Yeah.
if you had another mutate creature that has a mutate ability, like if you had a Boneyard Lurker,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
then you could do all of those at the same time because you're building on your mutating.
Yeah.
So Boneyard Lurker is a nightmare beast, 2 black-green for a 4/4. Says whenever this creature mutates, return target permanent card from your graveyard or hand. Now that one's pretty good.
It is good.
That's exact though. It's 4 mana for a 4/4 or 4 mana to do it.
And the mutate is 2 hybrid black-green, hybrid
I
black-green.
like it.
So the rate is a little bit better on this one.
I think what I'm underestimating is like because I haven't seen everything.
Well,
like
it's
the whole
also
set.
y'all haven't seen it in action.
Yeah, I haven't seen the whole set either. It may actually there may be 2 mana mutate cards or 1 mana mutate cards we just haven't seen that would help you like set this off more.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because like if you were, for example, playing limited, you could also be playing a black-green deck, and because it's a hybrid,
Yeah.
then you're paying 3 green for that.
You could be
ability.
playing a mono green deck and have both of these. in
Exactly.
there. And just playing an old mutate.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Playing the old mutate greens.
Playing the old mutate game.
So we do have a couple other mutates here, as we said. Archipelagor. It's supposed to be.
Archipelagor.
It's supposed to be. Is it Archipelagor?
Archipelago.
Archipelagor.
Yeah.
It's a Leviathan, 7/7 for 7 mana. It's 5 blue. Mutate for 5 and a blue, though. Whenever this creature mutates, tap up to X target creatures, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. Those creatures don't untap during their controller's next untap step.
That card's going to beat people in limited.
Yeah, it doesn't take a lot. Doesn't take a lot of mutating for that.
It's going to beat people's heads in limited.
It's also 7/7.
Yeah.
Your creature gets +7/+7,
Yeah.
and you get to tap at least one thing down.
Yeah. The next one is we have conflicting opinions on this
very
art.
much conflicting.
I love this art.
I hate it.
I think it's hilarious.
My least favorite.
It's very fun. It's a Landshark.
Front runner for my least
Yeah,
favorite.
it is a Landshark.
of the
It's a
set.
Landshark. If anybody's ever watched the old SNL skit about Landshark, or about the Landshark. So it's Pouncing Shore Shark, 4 and a blue for a 4/3, mutate 3 and a blue. Flash, whenever this creature mutates, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand.
It is
Literally,
very good.
It's a very good card.
The most
Very
cunning.
good.
Yeah,
It's a very good card.
very cunning.
Very cunning.
That's pretty. I mean, honestly,
Yeah,
like
again, but like up front, like the mutate cost of that seems high for the effect I'm
Steven,
getting.
these are in Ikoria.
Yeah.
So they're also cards going to be played in limited.
Well,
Yep.
yeah, no, I know that's what I'm saying, and like I said, I think there are probably going to be, because the cheapest we've seen is 3 mana right now to mutate.
That's
Yeah.
probably as cheap as it's going to get.
I had to guess too. Maybe there's A2
Maybe.
that's like
That's
gain of
real
life.
cheap. Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's real cheap.
Well, yeah, there's another one coming up we'll get to where I
Yeah.
thought should have been cheaper as well.
The last one here is probably one of my favorite, like, common abilities that we've seen. It's Auspicious Sterix. It's a 6/6 for 4 and a green, or its mutate is 5 and a green, so 1 higher. Whenever this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile X permanent cards, where X is the number of times this creature has mutated. Put those permanent cards onto the battlefield.
It's good.
So this is just you look at the top X, or you exile the top X, where it's just however many times you got going, and then you just put them onto the battlefield.
Yeah, it's good.
So it kind of encourages you. It's one of the payoffs for encouraging you to actually stack your creatures there. Obviously, there's the downsides of one kill spell kills all of them, but
yeah,
you
these
just
are
like
really these are really powerful effects.
yeah, they're great.
And I don't really mind the mutate bestow mana cost on these because of what you have to do. Like, okay, I did this, but every time I put another something on here, I add the danger of me just getting blown out from it dying.
Well,
That's
Yeah.
a pretty powerful one, though. Putting things
But
on the
both of these
battlefield
are,
for
yeah,
free.
yeah. This one,
there's
this one's
nothing that can control the top of your library.
there's
No,
way,
yeah.
no way.
This
Nothing
one
at all.
seems pretty powerful just because exactly what John said. You control the top of your library, so you can put an Emrakul into play.
No, you cannot. Don't
Not
do
the
that.
Promise In.
You mean the
Oh, I mean the
promise?
Promise In, not the Aeon Storm.
You could.
You know,
Yeah.
there's a lot of good stuff you could put in play with that.
Yeah,
That's a pretty powerful card.
this one's good. I like
It's a
that one
pretty
a
powerful
lot.
card. Okay, so now we have there's a lot of other cards that have already been previewed
Yeah,
that are in Ikoria, and they're in this commander deck, and they all have the Ikoria set symbol.
Yep.
Some of these we have previewed,
Mhm.
and then some of these other content creators have previewed.
Love it.
I want to point out. Can someone tell me between Cavern Whisperer, Cheering Harvester, and Insatiable Hemophage what is the common theme among all of these?
Hydra
Who
still,
can
right?
get it? Who can
still,
get it?
still Hydras.
Oh, they're nightmares.
One of them's a crab person.
They're nightmares, though. He might be a little crabby, but he's a nightmare ultimately.
This is a good. Never mind.
All of these are nightmares with mutate. They're all pretty good. Look, this one has menace. Whenever a creature mutates, each opponent discards a card. I like
Yep.
that. Whenever this creature
That one-
mutates, each opponent sacrifices a creature. That one's great. Whenever this creature mutates, each opponent loses X. You gain X. Number of times
Where's
it's
that?
mutated, and they
It's
all have.
mutated. And it
this
has Death Touch. Yeah.
Good
So
cards.
yeah,
I feel like Steven's right. The mana cost is high, but that's going to balance the limited format, I imagine.
Well,
otherwise, you're
Otherwise,
just
it's gonna be way
super
too powerful.
monster
the first
Voltron.
place I realized really is on this bottom card, Migratory Greathorn. That is rampant growth, and because of the way the mechanic works, why isn't that 2 mana? Why is it not rampant growth? I need a creature to rampant growth onto. So if I don't have one, I can't do it.
But if I do, then I have a 3/4.
Yes,
That's not
fine.
okay. That's not fine.
Yeah, okay.
Rampant growth with a
So
3/4.
but we just came from a format of Once Upon a Time.
But that doesn't matter.
It does matter. Look,
First
you
of all-
just printed
first
it
of
and
all-
then you toned the power level down so much.
First of all,
Maybe.
you must be talking about Legacy or Vintage because those are the only formats that Once Upon a Time's legal in.
You're also talking about a common.
Okay. Yeah,
You have another common that you can compare it to? Like, I'm
common?
talking about mythics.
Okay.
No, let's talk
Really?
about a rare that's banned in every format.
Yeah.
Let's so this
Arkham's Astrolabe.
Yeah.
so
Not again in the standard set.
so this one was previewed by Charlie GAG.
Yep.
Migratory Greathorn.
Right, Migratory Greathorn, which is a beast.
It looks like a rabbit.
You're right
little
that I
bit.
could have the
Don't
3/4
those look like
from that,
ears?
John?
No,
like-
it looks more like a weird goat.
A rabbit goat.
Rabbit goat.
You're right that I could have the 3/4 from that, but I'm saying the hoop to jump through is that I still needed a creature.
That's not a hoop. It's not a hoop.
So the other commons that we have with the Ikoria set symbol are Fertilid,
Big fan.
with
Reprint.
new art reprint. Yeah.
Love Fertilid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's such a good card.
I like this card a lot. And Dreamtail Heron, which is a 3/4 flyer. Whenever this creature mutates, draw a card.
Seems solid.
And its mutate is it's a 4 and a blue. Its mutate is 3 and a blue, which is actually pretty good.
So now I want to go back to Fertilid for a second.
Yep.
There has I mean, it seems pretty clear there's going to be a +1/+1 counter sub theme in this
Somewhat.
set too.
Yeah.
Because if you have those creatures +1, 0/0s, +1/+1 counters, and you mutate on top of those,
Yeah.
they're just going to get
They're
bigger.
just going to get bigger.
Big
They're
fan
just
of
going to get
Fertilid.
bigger.
But we can rampant growth. It's fine.
That's a reprint, first off.
No, but it's fine to rampant growth.
But you're not
That
Rampant
way.
Growth,
You're not
dude.
Rampant
That
Growth.
costs 5 mana
It's 5 mana
to
to
do the
rampant growth.
first one.
Yeah, it's fine.
5
this
mana to
way.
get your first one.
Yeah.
Then returning customers, it's only 2 mana.
Our last two here are Migration
7.
Path, which was previewed by Kenji, which is a 3 and a green.
No
Search your
escape.
library for up to 2 basic land cards, put them on the
Escape.
battlefield, tapped,
They
shuffle
keep
your library.
printing this effect.
But it has cycle 2.
Yeah, but that one's the best one.
Has cycling
It's
too.
cycling.
And
Yeah.
it doesn't get
It's explosive
gates,
Oh, I don't need
it's
any
lands.
more lands. Turn this into
Explosive
something else.
vegetation that gets 2 lands.
So this is
Or
another
cycles.
something that clearly is returning as cycling.
Yeah, big fan of cycling.
Migration Path is pretty great. So now we have Circuitous Route, we have Explosive Vegetation, now we have Migration Path.
This one's better.
How is it that Explosive Vegetation is the worst one? That card's
It's from
pretty
Onslaught.
pretty good though.
Yeah.
It is from
It is
Onslaught.
old. That's fine.
Spells got better.
And our last one, Attack on
In
Geek,
green.
had Glowstone Recluse, which is a 2/3 reach for 2 and a green. Whenever this creature mutates, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it, and its mutate is 3 and a green. And it's a spider.
Yeah, I think that, like I said, it's just the mutate cost because most of these, like that, 5 mana for a 3/4 flyer at common, that's normal.
It's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So what do you
What
want?
isn't fine?
It's just like I was saying, the mutate cost. I feel
A
like
3/4
they're-
for 3 or 3/4 for 4?
If they kill the creature, you just have a 3/4 for 4 flyer.
or they let you put it on there and you have nothing. But,
Sure.
Yeah.
But then that's not true. You get a draw card, Steven. You don't have
Yeah, it
nothing.
replaced itself.
You don't have nothing.
Yeah.
You don't have nothing.
Our last little bit is Alyssa reprints that are going to be in this deck. And this is not all the cards that are in the deck. Just letting you know. ahead
Let's
of
just
time.
call out a few that we
Yeah,
like.
but-
Let's each pick a couple. John,
I got one.
Yes.
Propaganda.
That's a good one.
I like that one.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I like Cold Eye Selkie in this deck a lot
That's a good
because
one.
whenever you can mutate things and have the Cold Eye Selkie ability,
Yeah.
especially if you were going to,
Draw a lot of
like
cards.
Otrimi, here's draw 6 cards.
Yeah.
Like that's real good.
It's good.
What do you got?
Out of this list, he took mine. I wanted to say propaganda.
No, it's mine.
You have 3 seconds before I say one.
3 seconds before I say one. I'll say Gaze of Granite.
That's a
It's
fun
not
one.
that good, but
Gauge
always
Grant's
liked that
really good
card.
against you.
yeah, I've always liked the card.
So I'm going to call out Predator Ooze.
Yeah.
Because you can put that on the bottom, mutate on top of that. It's going to be indestructible and just keep getting +1/+1 counters.
That's good.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
If you play Predator Ooze and then you put your commander Otrimi on top of that, it's a 6/6 with trample, indestructible, and when it attacks, you get +1/+1 counter, and when
Actually,
it hits, you
what
return
happens,
something.
Will, is when it attacks, it will go for a deadly relic.
You could have
Yeah.
a relic.
Yeah.
Okay. So I thought that was a good one. What else? What other ones anyone want to call out?
There's a couple Beast Whisperer, which
Big
was
fan of that card.
which is recent
There's a couple of Hydras in the list, too, for the Hydra theme.
because it is whenever you cast a creature spell and
Yeah.
mutate is casting a creature spell. So
You got Vastwood Hydra and the good one, right? The one that
yeah, so
Hydra.
there's definitely a few Hydras in here, as we were saying, but most of them are going to be the
There's some.
reprints. So we have things like Genesis Hydra, Hero's Bane, Hungering Hydra. Vastwood Hydra, things of that nature. So there are
the Vastwood Hydra is the one with multiple, like it fights, or that's pretty good, doubles the counters, and obviously, the one that does the mana cost. I can't think of the name of that Hydra right now.
That's Voracious Hydra, which is not
Voracious?
here.
Not here. No.
No, Genesis Hydra. That's what I was thinking. That's the one that is off the top of your library. You look at the cards
that's like
and stuff.
Cascade Hydra.
Yeah,
Cascade Hydra.
those are pretty strong.
I do like Genesis Hydra.
Hero's Bane gets bigger. So there's you put a bunch of counters on these creatures, and then you mutate on top.
Mutate on top of them.
Yeah.
Mutate your Hydras.
Mutate your Hydras. Yeah.
Another card that I particularly like. It seems simple, but I really like when they put actual commander staples in precons.
Mhm.
Crows and Grip.
Yeah.
You always need more Crows and Grips.
There's because
Also Beast Within in
Beast
here.
Within, Croson Grip, and Reclamation Sage are all in here.
And Kadama's Reach.
And Kadama's Reach, yeah.
Yeah, I mean these are legitimate. Like, am I making a green deck? These are going to be like your like 10 cards you're looking at. So am I going to include these?
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Lots of really good staple, like Muldrifter for blue is also just a good value card. Putrefy is a good, if you're playing those colors, you should probably consider putting it in.
excellent additions.
I like Shriekmaw.
Big fan of Shriekmaw.
Big fan of
I
Shriekmaw.
love Shriekmaw.
You take
Fear.
that?
Personally love Shriekmaw.
Widewind the Biting Gale. Has that been reprinted since Lorwyn?
Probably.
Probably once at least.
I would bet. Guild Kit, maybe?
Yeah, that's another good one.
Something along that line.
Something along those lines, yeah. But that's the deck. Now there are more cards. We don't have the full list, but I believe that
A bunch of other people previewing cards over the last weekend.
yeah,
We want to also
get the full list.
So
for
there's-
sure.
Thunder won't be stolen.
Yeah. Also want to make sure to thank Wizards of the Coast for providing us with this list in this content to provide you all, show this off a little bit ahead of time. And thanks to Blake, especially for, facilitating that, who I also wanted to call out Muldrifter because that's Blake's favorite
I
card.
was going to specifically not call out Muldrifter because it's Blake's favorite card. So
that's
we're
fair.
at odds.
Just
It was his favorite card. Now
I was-
Deadly Rollick.
Before you brought it up, I was going to say, well, they have the best evoke creature in here, and then say Shriekmaw, and say there's no other evoke creatures worth mentioning, and then continue on.
just keep going. Just
But
to
you're
spite
wrong.
Yeah, just to
So
spite
it's
him.
fine.
Look, I love a Muldrifter too,
him.
You know it's
but
better
I love
than Shriekmaw.
Spite more.
You know it's better.
Spite's
than Shriekmaw.
good,
Spite's good.
and it's no Ingot Chewer. So
So that's our
Two
deck.
cards up for all those effects.
What is the name of this deck?
I forget.
all
I
right,
meant
bet
to
it's
look it up
something with- I bet it's
right
something
before, and I
bet it's something
completely
with
forgot
hunger.
to.
I bet it is. What was it?
Or
Voracious Hunger?
playtime.
No.
It's like something playtime, since it's the ever
Playful Hunger.
Nah,
That sounds creepy.
not going to look
Hungry
it
playtime.
Anyway,
up. Hungry Playtime is
anyway, so we're still in between seasons, obviously, but we will be back at some point. So make sure you do all the things you're supposed to do on YouTube: like, comment, share, subscribe, binge. We got
You
time
should
for
get
that.
to binging because I feel like you might be
Having some time to do
having
it.
some time to binge.
Yeah, you can have some time to binge. Follow us on Twitter at Jeremy Knoll, at RedneckWins, at A Natural Death, at JParnell1, and at DIR Kyle West. Hashtag scoops when we return. I don't know if there's going to be good scoops prior to then. We gave you a lot of scoops today. This is a large amount of scoops all at
I
once.
think this might be the most scoops we've given at once.
You cleared out the ice cream shop with all these scoops. What else? Twitch.tv/Star City Games, 5 p.m. Eastern Time on Wednesdays. Just check or just follow it. That way you'll get notifications.
That's true. When it goes live, if you follow the channel, it'd be like, "Hey, we're live." So
Yep.
What else do we have? Stay safe.
Yeah.
Wash your hands.
Wash your hands.
Wash them.
Yeah.
You think you washed them? Wash them more.
We have estimates as to when we're going to be starting the next season, but with everything going on, we'll
Who
make
knows?
sure to let you all know.
We're
when we
filming
know.
this in advance.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So by the time this comes out, we don't know what's going to be happening.
Yeah, we don't know. So, but
we have
once,
no idea.
once we know, we'll let you know.
Or they can subscribe.
They
And
could
it'll
subscribe
just let them know.
and hit the
That's
bell, and then
true.
they'll just
Yeah.
get notified.
There you go.
I like that option
Yeah, I like
John
that.
listed. Just do that. Yeah.
Excellent. Okay, that's it for this week. We'll get to play with these decks very soon. Well, maybe.
Maybe.
We might get to play with them very soon. Hopefully we do.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we do. I'm excited personally. The thing that is I like least about what's going on today with us is we're doing this so far in advance. We don't know any of the other decks. So I really want to see the other 4 decks.
Because I know your heart's set on this because of Deadly Rollick, but you can't have this deck.
Well, my heart, I only want to take Deadly Rollick away from you, all of you. It's not that I want to have it so much, as I just don't want anyone else to have it.
And we're going to make sure we add this card to the other deck.
I have no doubt
Add that to the. I'll sneak that to Steven just so that I can play Zaxara.
On the time that it's time for me to cast it against you, we'll make sure I have one.
I have no doubt that you will. Thanks for thinking of me.
Yeah.
All right, that's it. For Jeremy Knoll, for Steven Green, for John Suarez, I'm Justin Parnell. See you folks next time.